I remember being 19 years old when I first learned about visualization and affirmations. And I wanted to become rich. I wanted to start making money. I wanted to break what seemed to be this family curse of all of us being poor. In fact, I watched my parents get divorced, and the main arguments I remembered were always around money. And I knew I had to break that. If I wanted any chance of a happy life, to move out of the ghetto, to have a good relationship, to live in a good neighborhood, to live a healthy lifestyle, I needed money. And I didn't fucking have any. So I read a lot of books, and I learned about manifestation and visualization and affirmations. And I remember trying to apply everything that I learned on those books, and none of it freaking worked. I'd stand in front of my mirror and tell myself, you will be rich, you will be rich, you will be rich, you will be rich. Did that for 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks. And then I would read another book, and it told me I have to write things down in a journal. So then there I was. I will be rich, I will be rich, I will be rich, I will be rich. Writing that shit for 10 minutes a day, every single day. And nothing happened. I didn't have a plan. I didn't know what I was going to do. But one of the best things that came out of that period was I wrote down all of my goals and all of my things that I wanted to achieve before age 30. And this year, I just turned 30. And when I was back home in my mom's basement where it all started, I found that same journal. And when I read through that checklist that I have, retire my mom, make millions of dollars, live with my best friends in a beautiful penthouse, travel the world, live in another country, date an amazing woman, have amazing relationships, eat the best food, never look at restaurant prices, I realized that I checked off each and every single one of those boxes. And I haven't looked at that list for over 10 years. And I was able to achieve all of this at 29. 1 year before I said I was going to have all this. Now, the crazy thing is I didn't actually stop visualizing. I just developed my own style of visualization. And it's something that I learned while I was a competitive gymnast. It was something my coach taught me when I was around 15, 16 years old that I took and I applied to my life. Now look, what most people do when they visualize is they see things outside of them. So if you're gonna visualize a car, a Lamborghini, if you're gonna visualize retiring your mom, what does that look like? You just see your mom sitting on a beach, all happy, and that's your mental image of what you have. Even if you have a vision board, what do you have on that vision board? You just have your dream apartment, some stock photo. Maybe you have a jet, a picture of a random jet. Or maybe you have a picture of some model or some married couple. You have no idea who they are. And that is what's on your vision board. And this is what you try to look at every single day. You try to look at this to motivate yourself. And what I discovered in gymnastics is when I visualized myself, the way that I did it was I saw things from a first-person perspective. So for example, the first time I learned what's called a double full, it's not important what that is, just imagine a backflip with 2 spins. I saw myself externally from a third-person perspective doing that move 10 million times, and I was never able to get that move down. However, once I switched my mindset and I started seeing myself in first person, meaning I started seeing my own 2 hands, and I would visualize myself going down, putting my hands down on the ground, stomping my feet. I would feel what that move felt like in my bones, in my body. I would feel what it feels like to lift and raise and do this specific backflip. And then guess what? I dreamed about that. And 2 weeks later, I tried it in the gym and I got it. I was able to land it because I saw myself doing it in my mind. So I took this and I applied it to my life, to my business. So now when I visualized retiring my mom on a 6-figure salary, I didn't view her on a beach somewhere. I visualized the moment that I was gonna come home and tell her that she can finally quit her job. I visualized that moment where she was gonna walk up to me and hug me. And I visualized my own hands going around and hugging her and feeling her body and feeling even her tears come down her face because she's so happy that she doesn't need to do something that she absolutely fucking hates anymore. I visualized myself opening the car door to my dream car. I visualized myself walking into my dream apartment, walking into this beautiful penthouse, sitting down at my computer. I visualized what it would look like on a boring day. Not when everything's exciting and there's music playing, but just pulling out my chair, sitting down, and just smiling because I get to work on something that I absolutely freaking enjoy. Now, back then, 10 years ago, I didn't know what that thing was going to be, but I had that vision. I knew I wanted to work on a laptop, on my computer. I knew the things that I wanted around me. I visualized myself having a chef and him calling my name, and then I would have to pull my chair out of my desk, walk alongside the second floor of my penthouse, walk down, sit down. He would hand the healthy organic food on my table right in front of me so that I can sit and I can eat it. And I went through this level of visualization, and that is what became my reality. And it didn't manifest itself because of some woo-woo magic, but it became true because I kept visualizing this life that I could have. But here's another powerful thing that helped me escape where I used to be. I would also visualize in first person where I would become if I change nothing. You see, in life, you need things that you are chasing, and you also need things that you are running away from. Realistically, what would motivate you more if, let's say, you are running? You're sprinting as fast as you can. Is it sprinting towards something? Is it sprinting towards your favorite food, your favorite drink, your favorite person? Or is it running away from something that is biting at your ass? Like a dog, like a wolf, like a bear? Which one is going to motivate you to run faster? Chances are you have answered and said running away from something. And that is why you need to create an anti-vision. An anti-vision is you visualizing yourself in first person, seeing your own hands, and looking at your worst case scenario. Looking at you living in the ghetto. Watch yourself opening the door to an apartment, to a house that you absolutely hate, this shitty one-bedroom house in the middle of the ghetto, gunshots around you, totally unsafe. You have kids, the kids don't listen to you, they freaking hate you, your wife hates you, you don't even have sex anymore, you do nothing with her, you go to a job that you hate every single day. And you visualize that. You visualize both of them, your worst life and your dream life. And when you can see both so clearly from your first person perspective, it will impact your daily actions today. Because in life, you do not stand still. You always move either towards your goals, towards something you want, or you move closer towards something that is not desirable. And you need to see both, and you need to have both written out. You don't need images if you don't want. I never had full-on vision boards. I would create some in the past, but then I would just forget to look at them. But I always remembered this in my mind. I'd close my eyes every night and I would visualize either something bad or something good, both at night and in the morning. And when you have this in your mind, you will start to manifest your hard work. You will start to manifest all the things that you have ever wanted. Now, for me, it took 10 years, sure, because I had lofty dreams. Now, I'm here in Italy, in the Amalfi Coast, and I'm renting boats, going to different restaurants, trying all the different food. And guess what? I don't look at any restaurant prices or prices of anything. Life is basically free once you build a business and once you make money. And that is my life that I always wanted. Now I have the option, I have the choice to start a family if I wanted to. I have the choice to pick a location anywhere in the world and just live there. And that's what I'm looking for now. But when you're in that dark moment, when you're sitting there in your room in the dark and you haven't achieved anything, all you have is the action that you take today. when you see both scenarios, understand that one of them will manifest. Only you can decide which one you are going to get. Only you can decide which one you are moving towards. Only you can decide what actions you are going to take today that will bring you closer to what it is that you want out of your life. And so now, my friend, the choice is yours.